Students, today's topic is vibration pickups. So, vibration pickups. So here pickup stands for sensors. Okay. So vibration pickups means vibration sensors, vibration measuring sensors. So different sensors are used for vibration measurement, and we have seen that vibration is measured in terms of displacement, in terms of velocity, and in terms of acceleration. And we have also seen the situations wherein we can select the vibration measurement as displacement, vibration measurement as velocity, and vibration measurement as acceleration. So vibration can be measured in terms of displacement, and displacement is given by x equal to capital X sine omega t, because all the displacements are in simple harmonic nature. Okay, and we consider the vibration as simple harmonic periodic vibrations. So displacement is given by x equal to x sine omega t. Then velocity is differentiation with respect to x. So x dot is equal to omega x cos omega t. Okay. And third one is acceleration, and it is given by double differentiation of this with respect to t. So this is actually, if you differentiate this equation one more time with respect to t, then it comes minus omega square, but I am not writing here minus, so it is omega square x sine omega t. Okay. So these are the three parameters in which you can measure the vibration. Okay. And it is important to select the measuring parameter. There are some scales by which you can select the vibration measurement in terms of displacement, vibration measurement in terms of velocity, and vibration measurement in terms of acceleration. So when the speed is low, so in that case you can select the vibration measurement in terms of displacement. If there is a moderate speed, then you can measure the vibration in terms of velocity. And if for higher speeds or higher frequency, you can select the vibration in terms of acceleration. And this is generally given by if it is 0 to 10 RPM of the machine, then you can select the vibration in terms of displacement. When the speed is 10 to 1000 RPM, then you can select the vibration in terms of velocity. And when the speed is more than 1000, then you need to measure the vibration in terms of acceleration. Okay, so this is a low speed, 0 to 10 RPM. This is a moderate speed, and this is a high speed. So when there is a high speed, you measure the vibration in terms of acceleration. When there is a moderate speed, you measure the vibration in terms of velocity, and when there is a low speed, measure the vibration in displacement. Now, as the speed goes on increasing, we are moving from displacement to velocity to acceleration. And the reason for selecting acceleration for higher speeds is because of this. Okay, so here you can see that is x double dot is acceleration amplitude. This x double dot is acceleration amplitude, and it is directly proportional to the square of the rotating frequency. Okay, square of the forcing frequency. Here, this is the amplitude of velocity, and it is directly proportional to the rotating speed. Okay, whereas the amplitude of displacement is not proportional to rotating speed. Okay, that is the reason why for higher speeds we select the acceleration, for moderate speed we select the velocity, and for low speeds we select the displacement. Okay, so acceleration amplitude is directly proportional to the square of the speed, rotating speed. So that is the reason why we are selecting acceleration as a vibration displacement parameter for higher speeds, and for moderate speeds velocity, and for low speeds displacement. So this is how you can select the measuring sensors, the measurement sensors for measurement of vibrations. Okay. Now we will see what are the different sensors or transducers available for displacement measurement. Now there is technique called LVDT. So LVDT is a displacement measurement technique. So that this is called as linear variable differential transformer or transducer. So LVDT is one of the displacement measurement transducers. In the LVDT there are one primary winding and two secondary windings, and then there is a core in between the primary winding and the two secondary windings. And when the core is displaced because of the vibrating surface, then the voltage induced because of the electromagnetic induction, the voltage induced is varied. Okay, and that varying voltage can be measured, and you can actually measure the displacement. In a similar way, there is a Wheatstone bridge transducer. So in this transducer, the displacement is measured because of the change in resistance, because we know that in the displacement the resistance also changes when the length of any wire changes. Because of that, the resistance of that wire is also changes, and that the principle of principle of resistance, this Wheatstone bridge transducer works, and this can be used as one of the displacement measurement technique. Then there are velocity meters, and then there are acceleration. So accelerometers are basically piezoelectric accelerometers. So these accelerometers contains piezoelectric material. It contains piezoelectric material. So piezoelectric materials are those materials which when the piezoelectric material experiences an external force, then it generates the electrical voltage, and when the force is removed, then it stops generating a voltage. So piezoelectric, this property of piezoelectric material is used in accelerometers or acceleration sensors, acceleration pickups. Okay. There are different types of piezoelectric materials are available, such as quartz, Rochelle salt, and then there are few other piezoelectric materials. But basically quartz and Rochelle salt is mainly used in accelerometer as a piezoelectric material. Okay. The sensors which measures the displacement is called vibrometer. Okay, so vibrometer is the name of the sensors which measures the displacement. It is also called as seismometer. So vibrometer and seismometer, these are the name of the sensors which measures the displacement. The sensors which measures the velocity is called velometer or velocity pickup. Velometer or velocity pickup are the names of the sensors which measures the velocity, and accelerometer is the name of the sensors which measures the acceleration. Okay, so this question is very frequently asked, that which are the sensors which measures the displacement. So vibrometer and seismometers are the two sensors which measures the displacement. The transducer used in displacement measurement sensors may be LVDT or Wheatstone bridge or any other technique, but the name of the sensors are vibrometer and seismometer. Similarly, velocity measurement sensors are called velometer or velocity pickups, and accelerometers are the name of the sensors for measuring the acceleration. Okay. So these are the classification of vibration measurement in terms of displacement, velocity and acceleration, and then the name of the sensors which measures that physical parameter, and the ranges in which you can select the measuring parameter for vibration measurement. And these are some of the transducers which are used in these sensors to convert the vibration into analog voltage. Okay. Now we'll see how to select select the vibration sensor for vibration measurement or design the measurement system. Okay. Now consider this is a vibrating surface. This is a surface which is vibrating, and we need to measure the vibration of this surface. Okay. This surface is vibrating, and we are interested in measuring the vibration of this vibrating surface. So this is vibrating surface. Now to measure the vibration of this vibrating surface, we placed vibration pickup or vibration sensor over it. So this is sensor, and we get the output in terms of voltage. Now this sensor is a closed chamber, okay, and inside that closed chamber there is a mass supported by spring and damper. Okay, so this is a mass, spring and damper. So spring has a spring constant as K, and damper has damping factor as C. Okay. So this is the spring mass system. So inside the sensor there is spring, mass, damper system. Now this vibrating surface is vibrating with Y equal to capital Y sin omega t. Okay. So this vibrating surface has a displacement Y equal to capital Y sin omega t, where capital Y is the amplitude of the displacement and omega is the frequency of the vibration. Okay. Now these vibrations are entered through K and C, and because of that this mass is also vibrating. Okay. This mass is also undergoes displacement, that is given by x equal to capital X sin omega t. Now we know that in case of force vibrations, the system also vibrates with the same forcing frequency. So here forcing frequency is omega, and because of that this spring mass damper system also vibrates with the same forcing frequency omega. Okay. Now if you remember the topic force transmissibility or vibration isolation and transmissibility, sorry, so if you remember the topic vibration isolation and transmissibility, so here we can relate this situation as motion transmissibility. So there are two types of topics that we have seen in transmissibility. One is force transmissibility and another one is motion transmissibility. So force transmissibility is a case wherein the vibrations are generated in the system and through the system it enters into the base, whereas in motion transmissibility the base is vibrating and the vibrations are entering from the base into the spring mass system. Okay. So this is a case of base excitation. So this is a case of base excitation or motion transmissibility. So this is a case of base excitation or motion transmissibility. Okay. And we have derived the magnification factor for base excitation or motion transmissibility, and it is given by x upon y, that is maximum amplitude of the mass, and the maximum amplitude of the surface is given by r square upon under root 1 minus r square whole square plus 2 zeta r whole square, where r is omega by omega n. Okay, so this omega is forcing frequency and omega n is natural frequency of sensor. So this omega is the forcing frequency and this omega n is the natural frequency of this sensor. So here the natural frequency of this sensor is given by under root k upon m. Okay, so spring stiffness divided by the mass. So this is the natural frequency of this sensor. Now if you think logically, if you think in a logical manner, then here y is the displacement of the vibrating surface and x is the displacement of the sensor. Now what will be the answer of this x upon y is ideal for any situation. So when consider this vibrating surface is vibrating with the displacement of 10 mm, and if the sensor is also giving the reading as 10 mm, then you can say that this mass is also vibrating with 10 mm, then you can say that the sensor is giving correct reading. But if this vibrating surface is vibrating with 10 mm and this mass is vibrating with 2 mm, so that is not considered as a good case. Okay. So the sensors is selected correctly, or the correct selection of sensors is very important, and if you select a sensor which displaces in the same manner as that of the vibrating surface, then that sensor is considered to be a good sensor. That means if this y is vibrating with 10 mm displacement and this x is also vibrating with 10 mm displacement, so that is considered as good sensor or good selection of sensor. But if it is vibrating with 10 mm and it is vibrating with 2 mm, then this is not a good selection. Okay, this is not a good selection. That means the value of x and y should be 1. This value of x and y should be 1, and this is possible when r is equal to, okay, so this is the situation we need to achieve. And if you plot this equation, so in this side there is r, that is omega by omega n, and on the x-axis this is x upon y, that is magnification factor. Then so here we have plotted r versus magnification factor for different value of zeta. So this is zeta is equal to 0.2, this is zeta equal to 0.4, this is zeta equal to 0.6, this is for zeta equal to 0.8. So different value of zeta, we have plotted this equation, x upon y magnification factor versus frequency ratio. So we have obtained this type of curves, and here we can see that at r equal to 1, that means when omega is equal to omega n, the magnification factor is very, very high. That means y is low, y is less, and x is very, very high. So with a small displacement of vibrating surface, this mass is vibrating with a large amplitude, because this is a case of a resonance. This is a resonance case. Here the forcing frequency is matching with the natural frequency of a sensor, and because of that the magnification factor is very, very high. So it is always recommended, it is the duty of a designer to avoid this situation. This situation should not be there while selecting the sensor. That means forcing frequency should not be equal to the natural frequency of the sensor, because otherwise the resonance will happen and you will get a very vague readings. Okay, and if you go on this side, then all these curves are converging on x upon y equal to 1. So all these curves are converging towards 1. That means if you select the value of r as greater than 3, so this is 3, this is r equal to 3, and if you select the value of r as greater than 3, then you will get the magnification factor as 1. So it is always recommended that your r value should be greater than and equal to 3. Okay, so this is the condition which needs to be followed while selecting the sensors for any vibration measurement. Okay, so this r is greater than or equal to 3 means omega by omega n should be greater than or equal to 3, and omega should be greater than or equal to 3 omega n. That means you select the forcing frequency, or you select the natural frequency of the sensor. So omega n, so omega by 3 should be greater than or equal to omega n, and omega n should be less than or equal to omega by 3. Okay, so this is the condition. Your natural frequency should be 3 times less than the forcing frequency. Okay, so natural frequency of the sensor should be 3 times less or 1/3 of the forcing frequency. Okay, your natural frequency of the sensor should be at least 1/3 or less than that to that of forcing frequency. So if your forcing frequency is 30 Hertz, so omega is equal to 30 Hertz, then you select sensor which is having natural frequency less than or equal to 30 divided by 3, that is 10 Hertz. So the natural frequency should be less than or equal to 10 Hertz. This is the condition which should always be satisfied while selecting the sensor for the vibration measurement. Okay, so this is the basics of selecting the sensors, and earlier we have seen the classification of the sensors. Okay, so thank you very much. Thanks for attending this. Thank you.